Guys, say hello.
Oh, hi.
Justin? I can't hear Justin.
He might not be able to hear us.
Sorry,
There he
Oh, there
is.
you are.
forgot to turn my mic on. I was complaining about having to turn off Kingdom Hearts, so I thought you were just making fun of me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I
Well,
probably wouldn't want to turn it off either.
Yeah,
Looks like a lot of fun.
it is, and the problem is like you're immediately thrust into a Disney World, but then the second
Oh.
world is like a traditional like Kingdom Hearts thing.
Like the hub world kind of deal?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
Is it
about what you
Twilight
expect.
Town?
It's like shops and stuff.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they try to like add stuff into it and it's not fun, and so like that's all I did tonight. That's all I got done. So now I get to choose between Tangled and Toy Story, and I'm like, I want to keep playing, but I just finished the crappy part.
Oh, jeez.
So
How much, hey, do you remember this, right?
how
Kind
much
of
of
stuff we
Kingdom
run
Hearts
into.
is the crappy part? No, I'm kidding.
I'm not answering that. I'm gonna close my door. Hold on.
Yo, guess what?
Mm-mm.
They brought back the gummy ship.
The gummy ship.
Ben,
Yeah.
are you recording?
Uh-huh.
Alright, good.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Lo,
Okay. What?
are you recording?
No.
Fuck you.
One
not going to
downside. I need to let's turn my PC on. One downside to this new office setup is that I'm right outside the bathroom, so it gets kind of loud.
Oh, so
Well,
it was
yeah.
like my 4-hour flight, but you get to do it every night. Or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like it's fairly well like noise insulated. It's just with the door open, this house echoes a lot because it's all
I
hardwood.
share a wall with the bathroom. The downstairs bathroom is on this wall, and then right across the hall over here is the laundry room. So unless I have both doors closed, I can totally hear the both machines going.
Yeah. See,
It's
when I
fine,
get
though.
moved into the basement, I'll also be next to the bathroom, but it'll be my bathroom, so it won't be like if I'm down there, it's not going to be used probably. Up
It'll be a
here,
private
it's
office
the
bathroom.
only bathroom. So.
Yeah.
All right, let me start recording. I forgot I was gonna get some whiskey.
Go get your whiskey.
Get up in the middle.
Lo, are you recording?
Yeah, I've been recording this whole time.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Ben is weirdly quiet right now.
Ben is always quiet. He's
No,
like
he's
the
not.
quiet
He's a
guy.
very loud guy.
He's loud when he has something to say. What I mean to say is when he has something to say, he likes to make it known so that we all stop and listen. I wasn't trying to say you're loud, Ben. I wasn't. If anything, we're all loud. We're way louder than he is.
I talk loud. When I'm on the phone, I have to yell. I'm like, I don't know why. It's just like a habit. Yeah, this week has been pretty brutal because we're introducing Zendesk to our setup. So we had to take.
Is that like a customer service kind of application thing?
Yep,
Or,
yep.
okay.
So we're
Like a help
working.
desk kind of app?
We're getting all the APIs and all like the other storefronts into one area, and so like having to get them all in and make sure they're working and all that. It's been such a
So you're
hassle.
migrating all your outside systems into one, and it's
Yeah.
probably just like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it in the long run.
I hear Zendesk is actually pretty good.
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was messing around with the article feature where you can create like I already have a customer service document that I've already made since I started, but you can do that or I guess you can't import it. Maybe you can. I don't know. But you can make something like that for Zendesk and have it searchable while inside the ticket that you're operating on.
Oh, nice.
Which is really neat. Yeah.
That's cool. Good stuff.
I don't need to have like a bajillion tabs open.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah. Because like when we get more and more clients, it's been just me downloading more and more browsers. So each client has their own browser, so I've just been doing it that way. Yeah.
I was like, hey, we already have our own thing. You should just use that. I was like, okay.
No, I mean like I was doing like Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer,
Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, that one. That's what I meant. Internet Explorer. And then I downloaded Opera. I was like, I never used Opera before, but I need to use it.
Like Opera, I only ever hear about it like once or twice a year, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And then
It's
like,
pretty.
I move on
It's
from
pretty
that.
neat. Like,
Is it?
Is it part of Firefox? The
No.
Firefox suite or something?
No.
Or no.
It's the competition.
it's a bit more like sleeker and sexier.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Nice.
I don't use it that much.
I'm using Firefox right now. I've actually been using it. It's all right. It doesn't seem like
I'm
insanely different
way
from,
too used to Chrome now, so
Yeah.
if I use something else, I just feel like
I still
I'm
have
not
Chrome
doing it right.
installed. Just when I'm like, I don't feel like messing with you today, Firefox.
I use Chrome because I'm a Google baby. My
Goo
phone's Google, my browser's Google.
Goo
Yeah, man,
Gaga.
it's all about Google.
Yep, I'm a Google
Google is the greatest.
Google baby.
Ben, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, you're
You
recording,
know
right?
what? I
Yeah.
didn't want to be rude.
He's
Okay.
plotting his next caper, is what he's doing.
He really is.
A caper, you say?
They already
A
told me you
caper.
were recording, so are you good to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool story.
Let's do it.
Wow. Hello everyone, welcome to the Chart Shot Gamescast. Teacher and my big friends gather around and talk about the games we've been playing, the things going on in their lives. Today I got with me Justin.
Howdy ho, everybody.
Howdy ho. And we also have Lo.
Oh, hello there.
And we also have Ben.
I am a puzzle god. Bow to me.
What?
I knew it. I was waiting for that.
What's Puzzle God?
I don't
No, just I'm a puzzle god.
Have you been playing Puzzle Fighter?
It took
by any
me
chance?
2 hours to do one puzzle. Therefore, I am a god.
Hmm.
I mean, God created the world in 7 days, but
I was
yeah,
gonna say.
that's cool.
At least 7 hours. I mean, come on.
If you're the Puzzle God, what does that make Lo?
Lo's
I don't
just
know.
like he's like
Well, it's Black Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like above God. He's like above God. He's an endless. That's what he is. He's like Sandman.
I always consider myself like a low tier deity. Like, if anything, if I would be
Low
in any
tier.
sort of like pantheon.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, oh, hey, that guy's just, he's no big deal, but I am kind of a big deal. And then I like do some shit. I was like, oh shit, we thought that guy was no big deal. And it's like, you were wrong.
If you wonder
I
why,
was literally standing for this.
if you're wondering why Lo sounded really far away and then he came back, he was messing around with the light in his room.
So you can have a nice Jesus halo.
Yeah, I was doing a Jesus Halo. Yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry, I forget this is an audio only show.
Oh, we're on
The sun on
YouTube.
high.
We're on YouTube.
It's not only on YouTube, or it's not only audio.
Oh, yeah,
It's just
that's
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
you gotta explain it.
Yeah. So you can check us out live on YouTube now every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern,
Yes.
unless otherwise announced. And Justin, what have you been up to this week?
So I played some games last week, or this week, I guess, because I felt guilty after playing no games the week before. So I kind of just like, you know, I tried to catch up a little bit. So after you guys rambled on and on, we had our awesome guest, and you know, did all the talk about fighting games. I wanted to jump back into some fighting games. So I played some Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yay.
Which is it's a good game. The story is absurd. Like
yeah.
the thing is, it's not a good story,
Mm-mm.
but also I really enjoy the ways they just smush people together.
Mhm.
Like, hey, this makes sense, sure.
Yep.
but like Rocket like tapping on X's arm cannon, like, hey, how much does this thing cost? Can I get one? Moments like that are just so great. That elevate it to a higher status than it would be otherwise. But
Right.
man, I'm not good at that game. Like Ben's already like, hey, we should battle sometime. I'm like, yeah, no.
It'll be fun.
For you, maybe.
It'll be a fun struggle if you, make
I'll
it fun.
I'll handicap. I'm not good at the game either, but I'll pick characters I don't know how to play.
I don't know. There's a few characters I'm not bad with. Like I like the faster kind of more like ranged characters.
Oh, it's like if you want fast, you play Chun-Li.
She's not bad actually.
No.
I like her.
Yeah, she's great. She's
I
terrifying
got
to play
Chun-Li
against.
PTSD. No thanks to you.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Most
All
of
good
it's a
fun.
PTSD for them dies. I don't know what that means, but
it just sounded good.
yeah. So, I really do like it, and I want to try to finish the story at least. But I don't see a lot bringing me back to it aside from that, and like playing with you guys hopefully when I maybe get a little bit better. Because it seems like it's pretty much just the story and then like scratches.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, arcade mode isn't even worth it. There's spoiler alert. There's no even arcade endings.
It's pretty bare bones, yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But after that, what I was really itching for because of all the MKX talk was some Injustice. So I also jumped into Injustice 2 and started up that story mode because I know that the Injustice 1 story like was amazing. And I heard some really good things about this one. It was a little jarring at first because it really does it picks up right where the comics left off. Like the Injustice Year One or whatever comics.
Well, the comics take place before the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
Injustice
there was also
2
one that takes place after
No.
the first Injustice.
No,
No.
the Injustice 2 takes place right after the first game.
Yeah. The Injustice comics that were when the first game came out,
It
those
didn't
are
seem like it.
those were prequel stories. Those were basically 5-year long prequel.
Well, because I feel like it's been out long enough I can have some spoilers, but does anyone care about...
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Game's 5 years old. I doubt it at this point.
Right.
No, the second one.
Oh, the
That
second
one's
one.
It's been out for a while, so whatever.
Yeah.
Well, because just the point is there's some jarring stuff where it's I don't remember where these characters left off. And so I thought it was it's basically recapping the comic story of I'll give one example. Hal Jordan is still dealing with the PTSD of being taken over by the Sinestro and joining the Yellow Corps or whatever for a little while.
Yeah,
And he's the Green Lantern again, but no one trusts him now. And I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, it was in the game. He was in the game because you see that happen in the comic, but in the game where the story the finality of that story takes place, he's the Sinestro Corps. You just find out how he gets to that in the comic book.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yeah, the second when they travel to that parallel universe where it's evil Superman, one of the first things you see is Hal Jordan in the Sinestro Corps. Oh shit, this is Evil Town.
Fair enough. I guess it goes deeper than I remember the story going, but it has been like you said, 5 years. I played it when it came out, and I didn't go back into the story after that.
Yeah, it's kind of Injustice 1's kind of irrememberable in terms of its story. It
had really good moments. It's just I don't remember where it left off. I guess
it's propped up by the comic book. Really.
Yeah, that's fair. I really thought the comic book took place after that, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, there's some really good stuff in there. Some of it does feel like you're playing the same character for a little too long.
Batman.
Yeah, I don't like Batman in this game. He doesn't play well at all.
Really?
Yeah,
that's too bad.
A lot of the characters that returned, because there's a ton of new characters and a ton that didn't come back, but a lot of the ones that returned felt a little bit retooled. Batman feels like the same in a bad way. He's not.
That's too bad.
He's not.
He's
good.
the main. He's kind of one of the. He's one of the main characters in the story too. So that's kind of a.
Yeah, and Green Lantern doesn't feel that good either. While we're talking about him.
Oh really?
He should have a wide range of different constructs and stuff he can build, but there's 3.
That's the difficulty of a Green Lantern. You know, you got to limit him somehow.
I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
But he was way more fun. Like, him and Sinestro both were way more fun to play as in the first one. And now they have a worse Green Lantern and then Atrocitus, which, I mean, he's got a cat. That's pretty cool, I guess. But
I mean, Green Lantern plays pretty much the same place like Ermac in Mortal Kombat 9. That's pretty much, and he's pretty much the same in MKX. So, like, I think maybe you're just fondly remembering something that wasn't there.
No, I thought he played better in the last one, but I didn't really use him that much. I just remember him having a few more abilities that were cool. But the point is, I don't want to delve on that too long. I really like the game. I want to jump back into the story soon, but I'm caught up in other stuff right now. But it's like there's some really cool parts where you have like two characters and you can choose which one you want to fight as in different battles. So like there's a kind of an extended section with Green Lantern and Black Canary because of course they're together. Which it was talking about like other dimension versions of them, which was also kind of weird, and I don't know where it left off there. But
yeah, they just went home.
Yeah, but like they're suddenly back. It's like it feels like they just kind of throw characters in as needed, and they just kind of give a throwaway line of why they're back.
Wait, did you say Green Arrow or Green Lantern? Because
Green Arrow.
Oh, okay, I thought you said Green Lantern. It's like Green Lantern and Black Canary were not a thing.
No, I know. But anyway, there's a longer section with them, and it's like depending on who you choose to fight as, it kind of changes the dialogue between the characters, and like it's really the only time the story like deviates a little bit is just like that little bit of dialogue and like kind of the action scene of what happens before and after the battle. Because it's like Green Lantern will obviously like shoot an arrow at something and like knock it off. Black Canary will get up and like have a little fight, and it like the same stuff will happen, but like the way it looks is a little different. And it's kind of cool the way they do that because it's not like, for a fighting game story, they could have just had a very linear, like, you play through it, like the Mortal Kombat games. But this at least feels a little different. Yeah, I haven't played as all the characters yet. There's a ton of them because it's the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC and stuff in there.
Nice.
I did try a few of the DLC characters before I jumped into the story because I assumed they weren't part of it. Sub-Zero is awesome. I was like hesitant to like I think we talked about it on the show. I was like, why are they wasting like DLC slots with Mortal Kombat characters? But then like the Raiden one redeemed me because he has an alternate skin that's Black Lightning. That was a little bit better, but yeah, there's stuff like that that's kind of annoying. But Sub-Zero plays really well, so it's okay. Nice. And then I also played the Ninja Turtles, which was kind of weird. I don't hate them, but they feel kind of generic. Like basically you can do your customizations on the characters and stuff. And with them, like whichever one you select the weapon for, that's who you go into the fight as. So you'd think on the character select screen you would just choose which one you want to go into combat with. But no, it's like you have to kind of create different loadouts for each one, or else it just defaults to Leonardo, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they did it that way.
Interesting.
But I played Leonardo and I think a little bit of Donatello, and I mean their movesets are fairly similar. It's just the weapon they use is different. So like the animations look a little different. And I wish there was a bit more variety between them, but they are the same character technically, so it's whatever. But yeah, that's a good game, and I'll talk about it more when I get more time with it. But I also kind of succumbed to internet pressure and bought Kingdom Hearts 3. I waited until Wednesday. It came out Tuesday. I waited until Wednesday. So, not to brag or anything, but I made it 24 hours. And I was trying to wait until payday, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a month with 31 days, so I get paid on the 31st. You know what? Screw it. I'm buying it anyway. So yeah, I haven't gotten very far into it, and I won't bore Thomas with it for too long. What's my time at? You give me 20 minutes.
I'll talk about it.
But it's really good. Like, it's another one that's kind of jarring to start with, because I'm not going to give spoilers or anything about it because it's still very new. But the game kind of starts with like what feels like trailers for the game. Like like multiple little cinematic scenes end with the Kingdom Hearts 3 logo, like it's a TV ad, and it's basically recapping the past games because, oh boy, that's a lot. While I was waiting for the game to download, I watched like a little 40-minute like story recap video on YouTube. I would shout it out, but I don't remember who it was. But it was a really good video, and it literally like it went chronologically like from the beginning of the mobile game, I think, is like the start of the timeline, up through like Dream Drop Distance and the 0.2 fragmentary passage stuff, like right into what literally starts Kingdom Hearts 3. Like the last cutscene of, I guess, that 0.2 fragmentary passage or whatever is the first cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I'm glad I watched that because it really just like drops you right in. And so I was still a little lost in the very beginning. There's like talk of like Sora not having powers and blah, blah, blah. Like the last one I actually played was Dream Drop Distance, and that was when it came out. So it's been a while. And then it just drops you into a Disney world. Like you don't start like on Destiny Island or anything like that. It's like, nope, you're here. And again, very minimal spoilers. But my like the favorite line is like you get dropped in this Disney world and like Sora looks around and he goes, "What? No fanfare?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of how I feel." Like it's kind of it's good, honestly, because you don't have that like 2-hour intro that Kingdom Hearts 2 had with Roxas. Although some people like that, I'm not knocking it. But the tutorial stuff is a little bit just kind of like you're in like a dream sequence kind of where like you're floating out like in the middle of the sky, just like learning how to fight and stuff. And then it just, again, goes into another cutscene and then a Disney world. And it's just, it feels a little segmented, more so than past games have. But once you finish that first world, then you kind of get the like introduction of like how the gummy ships work in this game and some more, like, hey, you can go to these places. And then it feels more like a traditional Kingdom Hearts game. But yeah, there's some weird pacing stuff in the beginning that made me like a little worried, honestly, at first. I was like, it's been 14 years, and like it feels like it's kind of a Final Fantasy 15 situation where like parts of the game maybe are missing, and so they're just throwing you in. But I don't think that's the case. But they kind of spend that first world just like showing you all the different combat mechanics, because this is literally like everything that's been in a game before. Like the Dream Drop Distance flow motion stuff, the shot lock stuff from Birth by Sleep, the like triangle commands, like finishing moves that were in Kingdom Hearts 2, like everything is here.
Wow.
And new stuff. So there's kind of some cool, like your Keyblade, like I said, can activate different kind of finisher moves and stuff where you hit triangle and it does a cool thing. That's on like kind of a time down. So you're building up kind of like a combo meter as you fight normally. And then when that meter fills up, it like activates some kind of special move depending on which Keyblade you have active. And you can toggle between 3 Keyblades like in mid combo to build up different kind of finishers based on which Keyblade you use most. So like, Kingdom Hearts 2, they can have the different forms where there's like the power mode, the magic mode, the normal, things like that. And like your magic mode might have you form change into something that can like shoot off like more magical bullets out of your Keyblade. And like the power mode might, change you into something that can do like some crazy aerial combos and all those like free form type stuff. And then like sometimes you would change into a shadow beast and not be able to change back until the time is up. Like all of that is there too. They've just they've built it into these finishers that are part of your Keyblade instead of just being things you can change into. And each Keyblade has its own form change. So like the first world Keyblade I got could like turn into a shield. And that shield can like have its own abilities, and then it can also do like a big finisher move, and like some of the finishers aren't good. Like I don't necessarily want to use them, but you can do it where like you have a super powerful one, you build up that combo meter with that one, and then switch to a different one, so that when you actually build it all the way up, you can use that Keyblade finisher. So it's kind of like it's really technical, surprisingly, in a game that was kind of like button mashy for a while.
Yeah.
They've introduced a lot of more technical things in there.
Nice.
And the trailers showed a lot of the attractions, what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the kind of the playable rides that you can go on.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is like when sometimes enemies will have kind of a little like green circle around them with a timer on it. If you hit them before that timer runs out, it drops like an attraction into your like kind of your triangle finishers. So you can activate that, and like whatever attraction it activates, like will do that thing. So like there's one that's like the pirate ship from Pirates of the Caribbean, and it just kind of like moves back and forth and like shoots out water in all directions, and you can like kind of pivot it on an axis and go around. And there's another one that's like the teacup ride, and like all three of your characters kind of bump into each other with teacups, and you can move yours around, and like as you slam into each other, you hurt enemies, and there's a lot of cool variety there, and some of them are context sensitive. Like there was a boss that had a specific. It's also been in trailers, but there's a boss that has a specific attraction tied to it, where you're kind of like going around the boss and like kind of on rails shooter section, which is really cool. Yeah, there's certain parts where like your finisher moves will be for progression. Like, there's one part where you like kind of do a skiing thing on Goofy's shield, get through like a lava section. There's a part where you have to use like the shotbot command to lock on to like points of interest that you can kind of like dash up to, so you can like kind of like Spider-Man yourself almost up a bunch of different things to get up to another area, like ziplining kind of. There's a lot of variety to the gameplay. It feels much less like you're just kind of going from room to room, like hack and slash and opening treasure chests. These are like fully open landscapes, and like the first world was about like 4 hours of running around these huge open spaces. It was incredible. But it still feels very much like Kingdom Hearts. It's just, it's like, picture the scope of Kingdom Hearts on PS2, but on PS4. Like, that the scope has to grow with the graphical technology. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really impressed so far.
I'm glad.
Like I said, I've only beaten the one world, and then I did kind of like the next part, which isn't a full world, but it's something. And then I just got back onto the Gummy Ship map, where you can choose the next place to go. And I won't spoil what they are, but I can choose between 2 different places. I'm actually pretty torn because I want to go to both of them. But the Gummy Ship stuff is even different. Like that sense of scope that everything else has transitioned to the Gummy Ships, where it's not just kind of an on rails shooter section. It's actually like an open world kind of like space exploration thing. So nice. When you leave a world, you come out to like a kind of a space station or a space system grid, a solar system, grid. You choose your destination. You choose your gummy ship. You can still like customize your own, build your own, use presets and add stuff to it, things like that. You get different blueprints for better ones, all that like before. But when you actually drop in, it just like it sends you out in open space, and you have like kind of a your destination point, which is however many kilometers away, and you can go in that direction. And then there's also like slipstreams that speed you along a destination. There's like secret treasure spheres that you can find out on the map and unlock for more special stuff. There's like enemy encounters on the map where if you run into them, it kind of goes into that classic on rails, like kill all the enemies before the time runs out section. And then like you finish that and you get the rewards for doing the enemy encounter, and then it drops you back into the open world map. But like it's totally different than it was before. It's very freeform. It's a lot slower because of that, but the only thing I wish is that it was optional. Like if you didn't want to bother with the gummy ship stuff, you could just choose where you want to go and fast travel. The fact that you have to do it is a bit of a bummer, but it's also the best the gummy ship's ever been. So, there's that kind of give or take. Like if you don't like the gummy ships, you probably still won't like love this. but it's the most tolerable it's been. The only problem for me is I want to get to the next world. So like, there's a lot of stuff I can do with the Gummy ship, but I'm like, nope, beeline to the next planet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great game, and I'll talk about it more when I have more done in it. Obviously, I'm trying to kind of go just like surface level, like very little spoilers, just to kind of give an idea of what's changed. And yeah, the only complaints I really have is that some of the dialogue is kind of hokey. Like it feels like they're just like maybe they did a first pass of dialogue and then they called everyone back in, like add in some jokes and stuff. And so it's like there'll be some some back and forths, and then it'll like cut to like, a different camera angle, and they're like some jokes, and then it go back to what they were talking about before, and it feels like that didn't belong.
Yeah.
But it's also Kingdom Hearts. It's always been very cheesy dialogue. I think it's just been so long since I played it, and all the actors are like old now, still trying to play kids. So it's kind of weird. Yeah. That's kind of my overview of stuff. Aside from that, it's just been more housework. Always more housework. I got a finger wound. Putting together a TV stand last night.
Oh,
yeah. The screws were like super tight in there, so I was trying to like pliers to like finish it off because I like the screwdriver literally wasn't connecting in the screw anymore. And so like I like twisted and slipped and just like scraped off a whole layer of skin. So like it's not bad, like it's surface level, but I can't keep it uncovered because the wind hurts it.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that sucks.
Oh, your home is fun. That's all I got.
Okay. I just did some browsing on Reddit while that was going on, and I just learned that Ice-T plays Destiny, and he hit level cap.
Oh yeah?
Go Ice-T.
It's so weird.
He just moved up a notch in my book. That's cool.
Yeah.
How high was he before, though?
I don't know. He's one notch higher than he was, though. That's all I know.
I don't know. I only know him from NWA, and that's where he got. Like, that's the only thing I know about Ice-T.
He's
anyways.
been in like NCIS, I think, for the last like 15 years.
Law and Order.
Law and Order. That's it.
Yeah, that's where I know him from.
Yeah.
Lo, what have you been up to?
Gaming wise, really boring. I've just been playing a lot of Warframe, just grinding up in Warframe, I built a couple of frames in the last few weeks. I actually streamed some Warframe the other day at some point. This week's kind of been a blur, so I don't remember exactly when I did it. But it was just late one night. I was just testing out certain settings with Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS is pretty cool, by the way. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. I was able to just kind of download just right there on the spot, like stream's starting soon, sort of like placeholder kind of thing until I might just use the one I have now. It's pretty neat. It's just like a generic, just like, it's going to start soon. And then there's like, we'll be right back. And I was like, cool. I just like one click and boom, it's there and like in all my scenes and stuff. So I don't know. It was pretty neat. And since I actually have 2 GPUs in my PC, I was testing out using the primary GPU to actually run the game and the second GPU to actually capture and stream everything. And it turned out pretty well. Usually with GPU encoding, I guess, as in comparison to using the CPU, apparently there's a significant difference in quality, but I don't really care that much. It was just kind of testing it to see how it worked out. It actually worked out pretty good, so I'm going to be kind of like toying with that a little bit as time goes on. And just kind of as I was doing all this, I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should just like stream Warframe every now and then when I'm just like pursuing a goal, like, or whatever. I thought it'd be kind of neat. And I've also just kind of noticed, just as far as like my YouTube channel goes, like it was growing for a while and then just sort of like leveled off at some point. But I think it's kind of like because I haven't really set like a goal for myself as far as the channel goes. So I've kind of decided just like giving a soft goal to myself to just accruing enough subscribers, first of all, to just like monetize certain videos here and there, like, you know, maybe like a stream or something like after it's already, because I'm just streaming on YouTube and all that good stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with stuff. But ideally, I would like to be. I'm just kind of set a secondary goal of becoming like a Warframe partner, since I've just been playing the game so dang long. But I just need to hit like a certain level of subscribers. So that's what I'm working on for now. In the meantime, I'm just grinding for stuff in Warframe. Like I said, I built 2 frames in the last week or so, which is actually pretty decent. I had most of the parts already and stuff, but for those of you out there who are familiar, I built a Nyx and I built Mirage, and both of those are supposedly pretty fun Warframes to play, so I'm looking forward to playing more of those. As far as games, that's it. I've been doing a lot of Grubhub and some freelance video work just over the last week. Funny story about Grubhub. The app, the app is a buggy mess, and I hate it most of the time. And it's screwed me over so many times, but just the other day, just a little bit of backstory on Grubhub. You can either just sort of go online and offline whenever you want to, or you can actually schedule what are called blocks, which are in like 1.5 to 2 hour little chunks. So during that time, you tend to get more orders and things like that. So depending on how many orders overall you accept, you get like first pick, second pick, third pick. So first pick is usually Thursday, and then second pick is Friday, and then third pick is Saturday. Normally, I'm kind of like in the middle, so I'm usually like, I get second pick on Friday, but it was a Thursday, and then I get a notification on my phone. It's like, oh, pick all your blocks and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was like going through, I was like, wait a minute, today's Thursday, but I shouldn't be getting this until Friday. What's going on? And I was like, oh, whatever, okay. And then, so it turns out I had actually a buddy in town locally. He actually does Grubhub too. Actually, I recommended that he started doing it, and he was telling me like that he just got his normal notification on, because I think he gets third pick right now, so he got his on Saturday or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I think the app actually like bugged out in my favor this time, so I'm like okay with it. So like I had like first pick of like pretty much everything, so it was nice. Let's see, just as far as like my week's going, other than that, we put together we bought a treadmill to put in the living room, and I put it all together and stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. I put it all together, I'm gonna plug it in, turn it on, and it didn't work. And I was like, oh great, it's not working, that sucks. So then I ended up just going online, registering the product. So it was under warranty and all that good stuff. I was talking to tech support, and I actually got it working. But it was funny because I was on, as I was talking to the tech support person, they were telling me to basically open up the thing and make sure like it was getting power or whatever. I was like, this sounds like, you're having me open this thing up. I hope this doesn't void the warranty or anything like that. But they're like, no, it's fine. So I got it working. And my fiance Tanya, she's at work right now, so I decided to be mean and play a little trick on her. I was like, "Oh yeah, well, I was on the customer support, and they told me to open it up and make sure it's getting power, and it didn't work. But then after that, they said, well, now that I opened it up, I voided the warranty." And then she's like, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me?" And she was like getting legitimately, she like for a second she was just like legitimately pissed off, and then and I felt really bad because she started crying because apparently she was having a really bad day at work. I was like, no, I'm just kidding, it's working. It didn't void the warranty, it's working perfectly. And then she's like, that was mean. Why did you do that? I was just trying to play around with you. I wasn't expecting all that. So I shouldn't play jokes on people. It turns out bad. But the bright side of the story is I got it all working and everything like that. So we have a treadmill in our in the main living room. We kind of have like a den area and then like a kind of main living room where like all the big sectional is and all that kind of stuff, and the TV and stuff like that. So there's enough space in there to where the treadmill fits. So we can do our treadmill thing while we like watch TV or whatever, or
nice.
Whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. It's actually a pretty decent treadmill too. We got it for around, I think, just a little over $200, and like I was just testing it out just for a while. I'm like, I'm like, I'm not exactly a small person, so I'm just like, okay, I'm fairly heavy-ish. So let's see if I can like walk on this thing for a minute and see if I can break it. So it stood up. So apparently had pretty good reviews. So Tanya did good in that regard. She researched it out and chose the one to get. I was like, okay, I'm proud of you. Good job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my week. Just a bunch of Warframe and just random, just Grubhub stuff, freelance, so on and so forth. And here I am now.
Ben, what have you been up to?
Well, I apologize once again. I'm going to bring up Street Fighter V because I had another first to 10 this past Monday at the time of recording, and I brought out my Chun-Li, who I've been practicing a little bit last year, and I was like, yeah, let's fuck it, let's do Chun-Li, and I'm not gonna. I fully expected to get blown up, and if you watched it, it looked like it was gonna go that way because I think at one point it was 6-1 or 5-1 or something like that. It was kind of ridiculous, and then I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, like everything just like I kind of like had that sort of. I wasn't good or anything. I still lost ultimately, but I think I closed the gap down to 7-5 at one point. So like I was in 2 games, and then I only lost 10-7. And if I would have made I watched the replay. If I would have just done this one other button instead of the other, it would have been 10. It would have been 10-8 or 10-9 or something like that. So I was close. And like it was just as fun. And like I kind of I said this on Twitter, but I'm like, fuck, I gotta main Chun-Li. Like something about how I was playing was just like it felt so rhythmically. Like it just had I had a nice rhythm with it, and I never had that feeling with Chun-Li until that night. Holding back, letting a Kokoken forward medium punch, standing heavy punch. Getting a back heavy kick, crush counter into canceling the lightning legs. It just felt satisfying to do, and I love Rashid. Right, Rashid has been my boy since day one. But like I think like I've played that guy for so long. I want to try something different, and Chun's been a different enough challenge, so I'm pretty much going to be exclusively playing Chun this year for Street Fighter V. With that being said, like I'm not going to go to tournaments or anything; it's just online. But I'm probably going to even try to limit myself from playing Street Fighter V this year, just because there's so much other stuff's coming out, Yeah. And like I feel like, and it's not just Street Fighter V because like fuck, when I play that game, I'm in it, and I can't stop playing. But like I feel like it's a disservice to other games that I have. Like I should be playing Smash right now or Dragon Ball. That's new, or BlazBlue Cross Tag. And
oh yeah, Piranha Plant. Did you try them?
No, I haven't tried them yet. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's at youtube.com/Sriracha Flash. Yeah, just I think I posted in our Discord. Or at least I think Thomas did, actually. Thank you for that, Thomas. So there's some audio issues at the beginning, some staticky from the host's end. He's a good guy though, but it was a very fun first 10 set. Once it was 5-1, I'm like, well, I knew this was probably gonna happen, but then like I kind of like, well, I kind of said to myself, well, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging, and then next thing you know, wait a minute, it's 7-5. So I feel proud about that, and I still got a long way to go with Chun. But I've also officially started Hollow Knight, a game I've had for quite some time. I guess I'm still in a Metroidvania mode, especially after beating Guacamelee last week, or Guacamelee 2 rather. And I gotta say, man, like I was kind of intimidated with this game because I heard how hard it was. It's not nearly as bad as it is. It's pretty fair. It can kick your butt when you're not careful, but it's like to me, I feel like it's more intuitive than Dark Souls because that's the comparison it gets to a lot. I feel like it's way more intuitive than Dark Souls in terms of where to go, how to progress. Maybe it's because you're dealing with a more 2D plane, more smaller area to scope out. But God, I love this world. Was it Cherry? God, what is the developer's name?
Team Cherry.
Team Cherry. Like, to me, this rivals like Super Metroid for immersion in a world in a Metroidvania. Like, and the first area is kind of like drab blue. Like, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. But the second I got to the second area, which is like the tree area, the green area, it's just green and black and dark blues. That's it. But it's just like the way they use it, and it gives a nice atmosphere. And Metroidvanias, are supposed to be about exploration and that sense of adventure. And I feel like this is one of the few Metroidvania games that actually captures that feeling, because you have a map that doesn't get filled up until you go back to the bench and you write it down. And you got to find the merchant who sells the map, and like it feels like an adventure. It creepy creatures. Boss fights aren't too bad. You know, so far you can recognize the patterns. Again, Hollow Knight's only as tough as you make it to be. You know, it's not like Dark Souls where like you can get fucked over by the AI because it's being over aggressive. Versus Hollow Knight, I feel like does a better job of telegraphing enemy moves. It's just up to you how you react. But I'm making my way to the third area right now. But I love this game so far. Like, and I'm glad I bought it on the Switch because I have it for PC thanks to Thomas a long time ago. And I tried it, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was, but something about it. I guess now maybe I wasn't in the right mood for it. But playing on the Switch and be able to take it on the go and then put it on my TV, it gives me like, oh, okay, I'm making progress. Even when I wasn't making progress, I was just trying to expand, go new areas. And well, can I go here? No, I can't reach there. Okay, we'll go this way. Then this is the logical conclusion. And guess what? It is. It's very intuitive. I think that's about it for me. Oh, Onimusha. Yeah, I forgot about that game. I'm sorry. Yeah, I streamed that on Wednesday after Thomas and I talked about wrestling. And that game is super fun. Like, if you're curious about it, I recommend playing it. This is coming from a scrub gamer. It's super fun. It's very simple. Its story's kind of crazy. I love the enemy designs in this. I made it further into the game. I finally got the final weapon, which is like this cool dual win thing, and it's just like, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
And I really like this game. Like, I hope this particular port, or not port, but it's an HD HD's up-res, as I'm gonna call it. Did really well because we can get the sequels. Because I've heard people like 2 a lot more than 1, or it's a better game at least. And I really want to play it. I mean, granted, I have
a lot more in depth.
Yeah. And I really want to play it now because I want to. Because I already like it as it is, right? But like it's simple, it's intuitive. I got lost a couple of times, and then I remember like, oh, okay, I'll go here, and then it all works out. It's just sometimes remembering where I need to go because I'm playing it for stream. I'm not taking it on the go. I don't have it as fresh in my memory, so that's probably what it is. It's about a week apart between I play a session of it. But it's still really fun. Like I'm gonna stream more of it for sure. Undertale's kind of taken to the back seat right now. I'm probably gonna be playing. I'll probably go back to it once I've beaten Onimusha Warlords. It's just so good. I think that's it, though. Really, I played a couple of rounds of Smash because trying to get back into that. Nothing too spectacular. Just a couple of online matches and matches at work. That's about it. I downloaded more ROMs for my Super Nintendo Classic because I fired that thing up again. Downloaded Doom, Breath of Fire 2. I downloaded the English fan translation of the Sailor Moon RPG that we never got in America because I love Sailor Moon. I don't know if I've ever made that evident on this show that I fucking love Sailor Moon. It is possibly the show that got me into anime. And so I really want to play it, but I kind of want to stream it, and I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. So I haven't started yet, but I have that now. And it just reminds me how much of a great investment that SNES Classic was, considering they're not in production anymore, and you probably can't find them now, or if you do, you better grab them while they're hot or while they're still there.
Yeah.
But that's about it for me. I'll probably be playing more Dragon Ball now that the best girl in the entire series is in the game now. So I'll probably.
Videl?
Oh yeah.
Is it pigtail Videl or is it like short hair Videl?
Here's the fun thing: you can choose both. On the select screen, if you press the L1 trigger or left bumper if you're playing on PC or Xbox, you get the choice. You choose the alternative, or I don't know if you get to choose, but like, I think it's default short hair Videl, which is my favorite. But if you want to play as pigtail Videl,
oh, pigtails all the way, dude, every time.
You know what's funny about that is that they tell her to cut her hair because it's a liability in a fight, which is true. Because real fighters in the UFC like braid their hair so that it's not long, but the guys, they have gigantic hair and they grow it while they get stronger. So
yeah, but she's a woman. She has to be told she has to be done. That's why it was the 90s.
That's why I always got love for pigtail Videl, man.
Yeah, but she's not up on the eShop, interesting enough, and I'm confused because like I see her everywhere, and I'm like, well, why can't I play it yet? Like they haven't updated it for the Switch yet. I feel really confused at that. It's probably up there now.
Probably.
You know, we'll talk more about. I guess I don't know if we're gonna talk about it in the news that Dragon Ball Fighters got a new season, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'll probably be playing more Dragon Ball and Smash now. Even though Dragon Ball frustrated the hell out of me sometimes. But that's it for me. No more yapping for me.
Just a quick note on your first to 10. I watched it go down live, and man, just when you started making that comeback, I was like, at first I was like, well, you know, he put up a pretty good fight, and oh shit. Like it was just kind of like progressive. I don't know what happened, man. Like you just kind of like went into focus mode, or like there was, you just had some kind of like mental mind state shift or whatever, but like you just really, you turned it up and you closed that gap. So I mean, like even though like you didn't come away with like a win overall, like you played very well, I must say. So and this is like coming from someone who doesn't like necessarily like go out of his way to like watch like esports, like fighting game type of stuff, you know, like every now and then I'll like tune in, like if it's like someone I'm like, oh, I kind of vaguely know who that person is, but like I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that like, you know, like it was, you know, you that was playing it or whatever, but you know, it was just really exciting to watch. So it was very, very well played. Both you and Sriracha Flash too. So. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. There was a moment in the match where I got a perfect, and I was like, "Wait, did that happen? Okay, fine." I lost the round, I lost the game, so it didn't matter. But like that was like, holy shit, did that fucking happen? But yeah, that was fun. I'm probably gonna do it again at some point. Because he's now on our Discord, which is Super Couch Fighters. If you're curious, if you want to join, it's a great Discord for fighting games. Now, like that, what's great about it is that from our quote, like my shit talking about his character, just friendly, you know, nothing serious. Now it's like we've started like a series. So now he's like doing first to 10 with other people in the Discord. He's like promoting it on his Twitch, and like this is great. Like this is like the best thing. It's like now like. Everybody's like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't, you know, it's not about winning, you know, it's just about having fun playing games and learning. That's what it is. You know, like, again, me ultimately losing isn't a big deal because I learned more about Chun-Li. I became more comfortable with Chun-Li, and I learned more about what to do against Abigail, the character I fought against. So again, if you like fighting games, or, you know, it's a primarily Street Fighter Discord, but we do play other stuff in there like Smash and Pokken and other things like that. So just come on in. It's a great place to hang out.
Sriracha Flash sounds like he knows his stuff too. It sounds like he was like kind of giving you notes too, like throughout the rounds. I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was really cool because it's kind of like a whole. It just makes it more of a learning experience for everyone involved. So, you know, so
yeah,
really cool stuff.
So is he your senpai?
No, he's not my senpai. He's not my senpai. He's a great. You know, I don't know if I'm call him a rival because a rival, the other person has to win for it to be a rivalry. But he's a great opponent to fight against, and it's always fun. So yeah, look for it on Twitter when we're gonna throw down again, because we will throw down again.
Cool.
So real quick before Toss goes, one, I tried to. NES Classic was available, and it's on Amazon, like used for about the price of, you know, new retail for like new products, which isn't terrible. But I also saw that the PlayStation Classic is already dropped like $40.
Oh wow!
It's not even worth it at that price.
No, it's not. But I was actually I went down the rabbit hole a little bit to see if you could mod it like you can the SNES Classic, which, granted, you know, you don't get the dual shock or anything. So with the controllers, so it's still limited what you can mod it with. But for $50, it's not terrible if you can mod it. Yeah, but I don't know, because it's just it's USB ports for the controllers. So I don't know if you could like buy USB dual shock controllers and put those in. But yeah, that's rough. Like I feel bad for them. Actually, no, I don't. They asked for this. But also, I wanted to mention real quick that I did jump into Smash and try out Piranha Plant, just a few rounds just to see how he plays. And I thought he was going to be one of my mains. He might still be. He's really good, but he's a lot more technical than I expected.
He's the Dalsum.
What?
He's Dalsum.
Kinda. Like I think it's his down B. He like shrinks inside his his pot, and you can kind of turn him in whatever direction and let go, and he shoots out like halfway across any stage. Basically, it's super long. But there's kind of a wind up to that, and like choosing the direction, it leaves you vulnerable. And then he has kind of like a charge shot, I guess I'll say. That is like his poison blast thing. But if you don't release it at a certain time, it just like goes away. So it's more technical to get out right.
Interesting.
And then his his regular B, I guess it is like he spits a spiky ball up in the air. And so like you can hold this and again aim him and like shoot it out in a direction, but it always like it goes out. So you can shoot it up and then like it lands and you can throw it out. But it's very technical, like the way, unless you're just trying to hit someone straight up, it's not like a normal B move where it's just like right in front of you. So you have to kind of play the waiting game with him a little bit, which I didn't really expect. His up B is awesome. He just like spins his leaves around and like helicopter flies, which is pretty adorable. And a lot of his A smashes are super good. But yeah, his specials are way more complicated than I expected them to be, and it's gonna take some time to get better with him. But he's so adorable, and I was waiting to see what the Kirby Piranha Plant would look like, and he is so friggin' adorable. It's just Kirby like inside like a piranha plant, like his face is sticking out of the mouth. It's so cute. And Piranha Plant has little feet underneath his pot.
Nice.
Also, Piranha Plant is kinetically female in this game.
Oh.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Aren't all plants female?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen a plant stick.
Exactly.
Gonna Google plant ticks. Go ahead.
Okay, have fun. I didn't play anything. That's my segment.
Nothing?
He's
Well, glad I spent 15 minutes on Kingdom Hearts then.
right now.
No, most of my week has been just watching old WCW. 1992.
Yeah. What year?
1992.
Ah.
I saw Abdullah the Butcher get electrocuted.
Damn. Did you so I don't remember talking about this. Did you get to the Flair Sting match at Great American Bash?
I think I might have. I don't know. I've been doing watch-alongs with Tony Schiavone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've just been doing that. I don't know. I did some more taiko drumming last night. There's some baby metal in there if you're interested in it.
Sick.
Baby metal? What's
Yeah.
baby metal?
It's a Japanese metal band. They're all girls.
Oh, it's the name of a band.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That makes more sense.
The
Okay.
I
song,
thought it was
I
like
thought
a
it was a
metal cover of
genre.
Baby Shark.
I was like, what? Is there like this new genre of metal I've never heard of before? Like, am I that out of
you might
touch?
be interested in it, Lo. I'm not sure.
check
It's
it
all
out.
about like songs that make you bob your head involuntarily. Baby jokes. Don't worry about it.
The song that they have in there is "Gimme Chocolate," which is their most notable song.
So is baby metal actually like a J-pop kind of thing, or?
Well, yeah, like if they're from
Yeah.
Japan, or I don't know where they're from, but probably
They're from Japan.
Yeah,
Okay,
so they're probably
check them out
J-pop.
regardless. That name just sounds.
But they're way more
interesting.
metal than like I don't listen to J-pop, so I don't even know what J-pop sounds like. But it's
Oh,
metal.
okay.
Very upbeat. It's very fucking upbeat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I played some of that. I played maybe an hour or so of Fallout 76, like, because last night I was like, I'm not gonna have anything to talk about on the friggin' podcast. Let me put this in my machine.
Run a virus scan on your computer.
So I'm playing it on the PS4. Yeah, it feels like a Fallout game, except that it's really empty-ish. Like there's like the other Fallout games, there was always like some kind of cool like story about your vault and like when you come out of it and the way how you come out of it. This one is just like everyone's already gone. What the fuck you doing here? Get out of here.
Because the stories have come from people playing it, but no one's playing it because it sucks.
There's still people playing it because like I hear gunshots in the distance, which is kind of odd. It's like whoa.
Oh,
like,
there's diehard Bethesda fans out there.
Yeah,
they're out there. Absolutely.
There was people
100%.
doing raids when I was logged on. Like I can
My
see
brother plays it.
The raids.
There's
going.
raids?
A hyperbolic nobody is what I was referring to.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like know how nobody likes Baraka.
You really want to go there again?
Yeah, because I'm right.
At least half of this podcast likes Baraka.
Yeah, but this podcast is not a contingency of the United States of America and scene.
Just saying.
Wait, what?
I don't know. He thinks he's right sometimes. Let's just let him be. He's like a Trump supporter. You just gotta let it go.
Oh no! Don't. Oh god.
Baraka should have an alternate costume where it's just an Obama mask.
Pretty sure there's a mod for that in MK9.
It should be official. It should be official. Because why not? Just lean into the joke. People will love it. Someone will buy it.
I've seen art of that.
I'm sure it's out there.
It's hard to spell with my
Baraka
index
Obama.
Obama.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. It's fucking Fallout. Like, it
This
feels
is just
good to be
pictures
back
of
in a
Barack Obama.
Fallout world, which is kind of cool. But yeah, like
No dog meat though.
I don't care about dog meat.
You don't care about dog meat?
No, fuck dog meat.
I kind of cared about
Oh,
dog meat.
That's bestiality.
Um,
This is just a bunch of pictures of Barack Obama. What the crap?
It's probably for
Really
people
disappointing.
his name.
Yes, that's that's my segment.
Google
No funny bugs?
auto-corrected it. There we go. That's better.
Just
Barack Obama.
Justin, you might want to turn off your webcam to have better quality,
Better quality what?
like audio. The internet connection's kind of like fuzzy, and your webcam's not even working.
Yeah, I have a new router. I'll stop doing internet searches and explain myself for a second. I have a new router coming tomorrow. I've just been using what was the new internet with Mediacom, and even installing it said, "Yeah, you don't get a router. You can keep renting this one, but it's $10 a month, and then like the $5. I don't remember what. So basically, you should have like $15 a month if you get your own. Here's the one I have. Mediacom install doesn't use a Mediacom router. That's amazing to me. But what I was reading is that like a lot of these, like even though they have the speed outputs of we should have, like we have 100 meg internet. I've never seen 100 meg internet come through this modem router because while it can do it, they have super low quality modems that they give you, and so like they're basically one lane up and down. So if you have more than one thing on your router or on your internet, it just chunks. So I got one that's like 16.4, so that we never have issues in this house, and it can do like 300 meg up, down, and like it should be good. But it comes in tomorrow. So I'm dealing with crappy internet.
Okay. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just suggest turning off your webcam if that helps.
But my pretty backdrop.
But your face is just a bunch of pixels.
Your face is just a bunch of pixels.
Hey, we're all just a bunch of pixels, okay?
I don't know about you, but I'm filled with atoms. All right.
Hey, atoms are just like science pixels.
Wow, that's deep.
You should put that on a t-shirt. Science
Atoms
is
are
just
just
atom
science
pixels.
pixels.
That's a good t-shirt.
Yeah. Jesus.
Is everyone okay?
Oh. Are you okay there?
Yeah, I just hit my knee against the desk.
Oh, okay. That's what that was. I was wondering.
Gotcha.
No.
All right. Let's head into the news. Newsy news tune. Can we bring back the newsy news tune?
You put it in.
No,
yourself.
Ben snapped it away.
Okay, fine.
No. That's my jam.
I'm starting off with American Truck Simulator, Washington DLC. Yay, Washington. All right, moving on.
Wait, that's it?
What? You guys don't care about this shit.
What?
I'm
No
excited about
fanfare?
Nice.
it. Anyways, yeah, Washington State is being put into the American Truck Simulator this year. I think eventually they plan to have the entire continental U.S., so
Probably.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is there a Canadian truck simulator?
No, but there's speculation that they'll add some Canadian stuff to this game, but I'm not sure about that.
But Canada's not part of America.
But it could be North America.
North American Truck Simulator? It's
Yeah.
just American Truck Simulator, though.
They could just
United States Truck Simulator.
they could just put a stamp on it saying North American.
Or North American expansion. There you go.
Mm-hmm. New Dragon Ball game Project Z action RPG announced for 2019. Okay, moving on. What?
There's no information. Like, it's cool, I guess.
I
But,
mean,
like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
one thing we've gotten is like there was the old crappy like GTA like top down weird Dragon Ball Z games, and then a bunch of fighting games, and that's been pretty much it. So I don't even know what to think about like a Dragon Ball action RPG game. Like what would they be? It's a mode.
I don't know. It just seems like the life of Goku, the game, to me. From just the little bit of like trailer stuff I've seen. I know, but it's just like, how many times are you gonna retell the Dragon Ball Z story? I get it.
That's where I'm with you on that. Yeah,
it's for like, I think they're trying to like get a new like generation of people on Dragon Ball Z. Hey, look how cool Dragon Ball Z is! It's like the granddaddy of all shonen. But it's like you can go back and play any of the Dragon Ball Z. There's so many back out there. Yeah. I was expecting like something more open ended, like a new Xenoverse or something. Not necessarily Xenoverse necessarily, but then again, they have Jump Force coming out, so they probably don't want to compete too much with that. But I don't know. I've always personally had a lot of fun with the Xenoverse games, and just kind of like the main reason I had so much fun with the Xenoverse games, it always kind of felt like sort of like a toy box of sorts, where it's just kind of like you have all these kind of like what if scenarios. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make up this character and have him like go toe to toe with like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, cool, whatever. Because it's like even like with Xenoverse, they kind of go through like the Dragon Ball Z storyline. So it's like, how many times are you gonna like recycle this shit, you guys? Come on. And it's, I don't know. It's just, it seems kind of silly to me, but...
The developer that's making it is CyberConnect 2, and they've done games such as Dot Hack, all of those games, the Naruto Ultimate Ninja games, and Shippuden games. And personally, my favorite of their games they've made, Azura's Wrath.
Oh, okay.
I heard Dot Hack games were pretty legit, though, to be fair.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I played the first couple of them. They're pretty
the
good.
lore is good.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's easy to get lost in that lore, though. It's kind of it runs kind of deep.
Yeah, I just wish the original trilogy was more easily accessible.
Yeah.
Only the second coded stuff you can find now.
It's one of those games.
Speaking of making things more accessible, PUBG Lite.
Oh.
So PUBG Lite is coming out in, I believe, is it Singapore?
I believe that's correct.
I think it's one of those Southeast Asian countries.
AKA, hey guys, you remember us, right? Right?
Thailand.
Right.
It's coming out in Thailand.
That's what.
Oh my
That's
god,
what
it's a secret fucking thing
Thailand.
for Bison. It's Shadowlow. I guarantee
Island.
So it says here the goal for PUBG Lite is simple: deliver PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds experience to players in areas where the core game's required specs are more difficult to achieve due to hardware available. To this end, PUBG Lite team has focused on balancing lower hardware requirements without compromising their quality standards. The end result is a build that is playable even on computers and laptops utilizing integrated graphics, so you don't even need a graphics card.
So it's the mobile version on PC.
Yeah, I think they should have done this before anything else. They should have focused more on being as compatible and optimized with as many platforms and levels of performance as possible. Because I feel like now it's just a little bit too late. Because Fortnite's already like taken them over. And
Yeah,
you know,
well,
'cause
in America they have, but the rest of the world is PUBG
That's true.
mostly.
I'm just saying, just from like a general standpoint, like Fortnite, it came out of nowhere. It was like better optimized, it ran better. PUBG was still, I don't know, like I feel like it's a little bit too late for something like this, but who knows? They could find like a new audience in other countries where like the article says, where because not everybody necessarily is able to access the latest and greatest PC hardware. Not everyone is able to purchase like a GPU, for example, because you got to pay like import taxes and all kinds of other bullshit. So in that regard, I think it's a great thing. I'm just a little skeptical as to how much of a boon in player base that it's going to like yield them, but we'll just have to see.
I think this thing is only going to be for countries that can't get proper or like higher end computer,
like region specific for this
stuff.
Particular version of the game.
Like I bet like graphics cards and stuff like that in these countries it's harder to come by, or they're way more expensive, so they're probably trying to get into those markets now. But here's the kicker: this one is going to be free, just like the mobile game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're trying to get back at Fortnite. Like, it's a low spec, like casual thing that anyone can jump into. That's but they know that it's not going to work in America, so they're trying to focus on other countries so they can still get the market share.
I like the first.
You gotta do.
I like the first comment on this article is, when is it going to release in India? So yeah, like I said, PUBG is way bigger in other countries, but in America it's Fortnite.
Yeah. We'll just have to see. We'll keep an eye on it. See how.
Like I said, I think I said on the podcast before, I was really surprised that PUBG was huge in China while Fortnite was not even a thing. I was really surprised.
Aimbots are better, probably. China cares about the hacking.
Aimbots.
Speaking about surprises, Spider-Man, that video game, is still getting more costumes, such as the Fantastic Four themed costumes. Okay.
They're pretty cool. Well, one of them is. One's kind of lame, but
Is it the one with the paper bag?
The bag one has some novelty to it. Some.
There's history behind it, but I never really liked that one.
I thought this was a crappy Photoshop when I first saw it. I was like, why did someone just put a shitty paper bag over the face?
No, it's an actual thing. It's he was Ben can probably explain it better, but he was working with Fantastic Four. They lost a suit or something, and so they handed him a Fantastic Four suit. But they don't use masks or anything. So he was like, "Well, what do I do about my identity?" And Human Torch handed him a bag that he could put over his head.
Wow.
So for a little while, before he got his suit back, he was swinging around in a Fantastic Four suit with a bag on his head.
Wow.
But the Future Foundation is actually pretty dope. That's a cool suit. Especially there was a throwaway line in the story from Marie about do you have a black and white suit? And she's referencing the Venom suit. She's not referencing it. But that's the Easter egg. But then they actually added a black and white suit, which is pretty funny.
Nice.
But yeah, I really like this suit. I kind of want to jump back in. I want an excuse to jump back in, I should say, so I can wear it.
It looks really cool.
Yeah. And it's very accurate, too. The Future Foundation was kind of a cool thing where he joined, the future version of Fantastic Four. But I think there was more than 4 of them, so they had a different name for it. But,
gotcha.
Yeah. So these are cool, but that's it. There's nothing else to this. It's just 2 new suits.
It looks like the former head of Nintendo Indies is wearing a new suit.
Nice.
Over at Microsoft. Okay.
That was pretty good. I'll give you that one.
That was good.
Yeah, this one's kind of a bummer to me. Well, kudos to Xbox. This is a good get. But Damon Baker, who was the head of the Indies program, is the one that ran the first few, I think, Indies presentations that Nintendo did. And he was just a really fun guy. He was very personable. he would go do like guest appearances on different things, like talking very passionately about these indies and like bringing them to the Switch. He was a huge pioneer of all that back with the launch.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a really strong indie focus now. They don't need him necessarily, and it's good that Xbox is making that focus because it sounds like he's going to be doing the same stuff over there. But he's kind of one of those like those Bill Trennans, where it's like he could be a good face of Nintendo, but he's going to go work for Xbox and he's going to lose his soul. But it's fine. No, it'll be good. I do like what Xbox is coming up with. I think they're going to be a lot more interesting to watch next gen than Sony will be.
Interesting.
Speaking of big players in the gaming world, we have modder Durante, who formerly fixed Dark Souls, founds a PC porting studio.
Mm-hmm.
Finally gonna get that money he deserves.
Yeah, it's just really exciting because I remember when one of the games I was really excited to play on PC was actually Dark Souls, because I played a ton of it on 360 just before I switched over, and then I was really disappointed to find that the frame rate was locked at 30 frames a second. Then I come to find that this amazing mod came along that not only unlocks the frame rate, but it also ups the resolution, the in-game resolution to 1080p, which was beautiful. And despite the fact that unlocking the frame rate broke the physics and it nerfed your jumps, there was actually a hotkey included in the mod, so you can switch it between 30 and 60 for when you need to do those jumping segments. So I thought that was a really nice touch. But just that aside, it's just really cool to see like a modder actually like starting his own studio. And not only that, it's just a studio for porting games to PC. Well, they're specializing. It sounds like they're going to specialize in porting games to PC. I don't know if they're going to be doing, both ways, PC to from console to PC or PC to console, which would be nice to see in the future. It's just really awesome because it just sounds like that they really want to focus on quality and just getting like just some really good like PC ports and stuff like that. I'm hoping that they get some really nice titles in their portfolio as far as like as far as progression moving forward. It's just really exciting, really cool stuff. This has made me smile reading this.
I mean, that's been kind of a big business lately, though, when you think about it, because like the whole a lot of companies aren't bringing the games to places because they're like, it takes too much work to optimize it. We can't pull that many resources. But then there's like, there's limited run games, which is a little different, that, is bringing like kind of the more niche products to physical release. And then there's, I see the reason I mentioned them first because I remember their name. There's the studio that does all of the porting for Switch. I keep wanting to say Bluehole, but that's the PUBG guy, right?
What was the name?
There's also the studio that's been doing a lot of ports for Sony. Like they did Shadow of the Colossus and a few others.
Blue Note?
And that's like something.
Blue Note?
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. But the point is, like, there's a bunch of studios that are kind of doing that, like, taking games and putting them in another form. And they're really finding a lot of success with it.
Definitely. And one nice thing about this is like it opens up the possibility for smaller studios to get their games ported too, because it's very possible like a lot of these studios aren't porting their games because it's not in their budget or something like that. So if you have like a newer like studio that's like budding and like opening up, it's like, oh well, they could very well offer their services at like a lower cost, so that way it fits in their budget, so that way it only works for them in the end because the game gets publicity and the studio for porting it gets the publicity because it's not a shitty port. So like this has a lot of potential to just really like just really build a lot of momentum for them. It sounds like they kind of are focusing more on like steady growth, and again that the whole quality aspect of it, which is that's music to my ears. I love that because there's one thing we need more of is good PC ports. So
the person's real name is Peter Thoman. And the studio is called PH3, so take a look out on the future for that. So speaking of sales going up for PC gift ports, sales are going down for GameStop.
That's
all
right. That's a bad transition. You kind of went one way, and then like you pivoted, and I was like, "What? Okay."
GameStop halts the pursuit for a new buyer. Stock plummets over 25%.
Eee.
Bum,
To be
bum, bum,
clear, it
bum.
wasn't a huge drop. Their stock wasn't worth that much in the first place.
Right.
It's still a pretty big percentage, though.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was like a $3 drop.
Yeah, GameStop's board has now terminated efforts to pursue the sale of the company due to the lack of available financing on terms that would commercially acceptable to prospective acquirer. So they couldn't broker a deal between any acquirers if they had any.
They couldn't get anyone. They couldn't agree for someone to spend enough money on them.
Right.
That
People were
sucks.
willing to buy. They were just lowballing the offer. It sounds like.
That sucks. Yeah. So I mean, what's going to happen now? They just like.
Well, it says
No.
here that GameStop reported a third quarter loss of $488.6 million. So that probably wasn't one of the things that made them look too good.
Right.
They also
Oh,
sold
man.
off Spring Mobile for $700 million. That still wasn't enough to factor the loss.
Right.
Well, because that made them a lot of. Hold on. To clarify, they sold Spring Mobile that brought in around $700 million. It doesn't say how much they sold them for.
I thought
It's
that's
just
how
saying
much.
that's a big part of why
that's how
they-
much they sold it for because it brought in
No.
$700 million.
It says
Okay.
GameStop reported a third quarter loss of $488.6 million, which included the sale of Spring Mobile that brought in around $700 million.
Yeah.
So that was a revenue generator of $700 million for them. When they sold it, that's part of why they had such a huge loss because they didn't have that revenue generator anymore.
Oh, I read it as that's how much they sold it for.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, moving on.
But to clarify here, GameStop is trying to make it sound like they're doing okay. Like they want to make it believe that they dropped these people that were trying to acquire them, and that they're going to pursue other options now. They're going to be gone in a year.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know. I don't know.
This
about
is the
that.
same thing Blockbuster did. They're like, oh, what's this Netflix thing? Pfft, that's not going to make it. We're fine. Yeah. R.I.P.
Looks like GameStop looks like they're gonna put the stop in GameStop pretty soon.
Maybe if they didn't have shitty business practices, they wouldn't be in the situation in the first place.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, it's bad
Is the
decisions.
Kingdom Hearts pre-order story in here?
What was that?
Oh, they canceled a bunch of the PS4 Special Edition Kingdom Hearts bundles because they oversold. I just did air quotes like you guys could see me. By the
Wow.
way.
Oh, no. Oh,
but-
my gosh.
Yeah, so because of their practices of forcing pre-orders and stuff, they don't know how much stock they're going to get.
Right.
Like I had that same thing happen to me with I think it was the Majora's Mask version of the 3DS, like that came with the Majora's Mask and had like the mask on it and everything. Like it was super cool. And I ordered one, it was canceled. There's nothing I could do about it. I tried to go pick one up at Target on release day, and they had like 3, so I didn't get one.
Oh.
But yeah, they've been doing this stuff forever, and it's finally catching up to them now that they're not
Yep.
doing well. It's just adding to the bad press. And people were super because waiting 14 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 and then not getting the special edition console.
That's
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a 14-year slap in the face,
right?
Jeez, man. I mean, yeah, maybe it's for the best. I mean, it's like we've been saying, they haven't been making very good business decisions, and the consumer base is just for the most part they're just like, well, fuck GameStop. So it's
And the last time I went into a GameStop, it was more toys than games. Like they
They totally
crush
did.
everything in there.
Yeah,
It's not fun to explore.
yeah. Last time I pre-ordered a game theater was 5 years ago for Project Cross Zone 2, and I almost got the first one, and I almost got my pre-order screwed because the guy said like it's not here, and I'm like, no, it's in there. I fucking paid. It's like, oh, here it is. I'm like, I'm never buying pre-ordering ever again.
Yeah.
Like it's not the guy's fault, but it's just like how their system is. And like
Right.
the last time I stepped into GameStop was to buy a carrying case, and like the guy, the clerk, who maybe it's just this, maybe he's having a bad day, but just mean mugged me because I just bought a case and by game, like, dude, I get you get your set on the game, but I just wanted a case from a Switch. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was sorry for the people who are gonna lose their jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's the downside to this is that.
Yep.
And the CEO is probably gonna get a nice payout because that's how America works.
Probably.
Okay.
America.
Mario Kart Tour has been delayed till summer 2019.
I kind of expected this because it was supposed to be released in spring, and it's February, and we hadn't heard anything. Like, there's not even... There's no images of the...
Yeah, I didn't even know this thing existed until this story.
Yeah, it was part of a direct, I think. They just showed the logo, and then, like, they briefly mentioned, like, our next mobile game is going to be... Blah, blah, blah. And, like, that's it. That's the only information we've gotten. And it was, like, last summer that they mentioned that.
Speaking of February 2019, PlayStation Plus games have been announced. For Honor, Hitman: The Complete First Season, Metal Gear Solid 4, Dive Kick, Gunhouse, Rogue Aces. And this is going to be the last of the PS3 and Vita games.
Yeah, that's kind of why this was noteworthy. Not really the games themselves.
They also announced the increase to their cloud save storage from 10 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes, which is pretty good.
But it's just for game saves. Granted, saves take up a lot of space. I've noticed.
Once you accumulate enough saves, it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And you wanna stagger your saves
Right.
at any game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I said it's good of them to get out ahead of this problem, because this could have been a problem in the future, like however many years from now.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, we got 4A Games has left Steam, or not 4A Games, but Metroid Exodus is not launching on Steam. It's launching on Epic Store. Also, you can still get your game on Steam if you pre-ordered it through Steam.
Is that
According
confirmed?
to the Steam page, it says it's on the Steam page where it says that. So it says anyone who pre-ordered the game before, they're still going to honor that, and they're still going to get their copy of the game on Steam. The thing is, what if it's like you pre-order the game and then they're like, oh hey, like I don't know if the game has multiplayer, probably not, but
It doesn't.
it's like, oh well. Oh, okay, so it probably doesn't necessarily matter because you're not gonna run any like multiplayer kind of issues. But it's just really interesting because it just all of a sudden it was just not on Steam anymore. So and then people were like, well, what the fuck, and so it's. But I mean,
And is it going to get the same support and all that?
Yeah, like the same updates.
Right.
Like who knows? It's weird.
There's a lot of weird stuff there.
A lot of people were. It was just kind of funny because a lot of people, most of the complaints that I was hearing or seeing on Twitter rather, were just more of just like, it was mainly just people just like listing out all the features that Steam has and all the features that the Epic Store has currently. And they're like, well, look at all this stuff Steam has and the Epic Game Store doesn't have any of that shit. And then I was just kind of thinking the other day, I'm like, back in the day when Steam first released, it was just a step in between you not playing Counter-Strike and you playing Counter-Strike. It was literally just that. It was just DRM. So it's just, I don't know. It was just interesting. I just feel like everyone has to kind of start somewhere. It really sucks that like for the people who were, counting on ordering the game for Steam, maybe they were saving up money and they're like, oh, I'm going to order my copy on Steam. And then all of a sudden it's not there anymore. Like for those people, I definitely feel for them. However, on the other side, you have like the whole, if I'm not mistaken, they jumped ship and moved to the Epic Games Store because they take less of a cut of the profits. And that's kind of like their, like more like one of the main appeals to this sort of thing. That's kind of how they're getting like more devs on board and such. So in that regard, I think it's great. And they were also able to knock $10 off the price. So in the end, like it's kind of a win for the consumer in that regard. Yes, you have to install another launcher. Yes, you have to, it's a few additional clicks to launch your game. If that matters to you, like,
and you have to convert your currency if you're not from America.
There's that too. Yeah, I guess Epic Games Store is only available in the States, and there's that. That's very much a thing. So there's a lot of like positives and negatives in this situation. I don't know. On the other hand, again, it sounds like I believe this is going to be. It will eventually release on Steam. This is a timed exclusive thing, correct?
Yeah, it just seems like they're shooting
yeah.
themselves in the foot for like outside
It's not good.
of America
It's not good
countries.
PR. Yeah,
that's all.
It's definitely not good PR outside of the U.S. and it's just kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of limited kind of like tunnel vision going on. It's like, oh yeah, U.S. Epic Game Store, cool. I don't know, but I mean, it'll eventually be available on Steam and we'll eventually be able to enjoy it. But it sucks. It sucks not being able to, being a PC gamer, not being able to order or purchase a game on your preferred platform. So I definitely can feel for some of you out there. So.
Yeah, to me, it really does just come down to game. Like, you can have a new launcher, you can brag about your lesser cut, all these things to convince people to join your store and sell their stuff there. Mm-hmm. But unless you appeal to the consumers, your failure is your own fault.
Right.
So, like,
exactly,
just appealing to developers is only half of what you have to do. You also have to appeal to consumers so they'll want to use your service over the other service. Locking away a game is not the way to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't the console wars. This is PC gaming.
Right.
It's the PC Monday Night Wars.
Right.
The launcher wars. The DRM wars or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, also they're using Denuvo for anti-tamper technology, so that's a thing too.
Literally every game has that, so
yeah. It's whatever.
It'll get cracked in like 4 days. So.
Something else unexpected is Persona Q2, new Cinema Labyrinth confirmed for the West with release date collector's edition. It's Persona Q2. Is headed to the United States and Europe June 4th, 2019. I'm actually playing through the first Persona Q right now.
Oh, really?
I haven't played a whole lot of it, but like the chibi art style, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I'd rather just have them have their anime style that they had from the original game. But yeah.
Well, I don't think there was a trailer for this one yet. They showed the cinematic, but that doesn't necessarily show how the game's going to look.
Yeah, for this one, I don't know what it's gonna look like. It looks like they're probably gonna go with that same art style.
Oh wait,
maybe
I lied.
a little bit
Those pictures
cleaner and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really a chibi art style.
This one's a little bit more skinnier. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that 3DS art style. Like, a lot of 3DS games kind of have that same, like, that slick but like big round heads. And like like Pokemon, Harvest Moon.
I'd rather they stick to the anime style that they.
A lot of games have that. But the fighting style looks like Persona 5, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the fighting style for these games is actually your least favorite, which is that first-person dungeon crawling thing.
I know. I'm not saying cool for me. I'm just saying it's cool that they're like mimicking that big console look on a 3DS.
Also, what's a bummer for me, anyways, is Persona Q. They don't have that original song from Persona 4, that the battle theme, which I've been listening to nonstop for the last 2 days for some reason. I'm just like, I need my Persona music. Like, I need to listen to it right now. I had like remixes and stuff playing throughout the office the whole time today. But yeah, it says here that there's going to be a premium edition for $69.99 for 3DS. Includes a 5-inch Koromaru plush toy. What do you think of the plush toy?
I don't know what's a What is that? Like a puppy? Is this a puppy? It's kind of cute.
Is it a puppy cat?
I guess. I don't remember this thing. Maybe it's a new character. I don't remember this at all. I remember there's cats.
Definitely an anime pet of some sort.
Definitely, yeah.
Kind of looks like a puppy. Or a little wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Little wolf pup. With red eyes.
The way that the first Persona Q works is that you could choose between two different protagonists, the one from the third game and the one from the fourth game. So this one might have the one from the fifth and one from the fourth. So
probably. But it says it has characters from 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, so maybe they put some 3 in there too.
That's a lot of characters.
There are a lot of characters. Some have bleed over, like Igor's in all of them.
Oh yeah, that's like the guy in the dungeon, right?
Yeah, it's the old guy with the nose.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I've heard about that.
Speaking of hearing about things, another rumor suggests a smaller, portable, focused Nintendo Switch coming in 2019.
I can't even with that transition.
Well, I'm switching between trying and not trying. I just want to get through this shit so we can go along our days. Talk about your rumored Nintendo Switch.
Thomas is just upset because he had a heart attack today and doesn't want to talk about it.
I've had chest pains.
That's rude.
The air here has been so fucking cold. It's been like negative 36 degrees, like extreme cold weather alerts this whole week.
No, it has.
I've been staying at home for like 3 days, and then I had to go into the office 2 days in a row because of some new shit that we're doing.
Drag him.
Yeah, it sucks. No, I'm just saying, if you're having chest pains, you should do something about it. Not just like, I'm fine.
I'll just live until the extreme cold weather is gone. And then I'll be
Anyway, new possible Switch that might convince Lo to finally get a Switch, which would be good. So, take this report with a grain of salt, just like every other report that's basically had this same thing over the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. But there's been rumors that that a new Switch.
Those are my favorite rumors.
I literally couldn't talk. I was paralyzed. That they're going to be basically putting out another Switch that is possibly a smaller, kind of like a handheld version, basically. Possibly a smaller screen, or at least a smaller device, like maybe less bezel on it, and Joy-Con that can't be removed, so it's handheld only.
Wow.
And won't come with a dock or anything like that, and will be at a cheaper price point. I'd guess probably in the $150 to $200 range. That's not part of the rumor. That's just what I'm guessing. There's also been rumors that there's going to be a more expensive version of the Switch Online service, whether that means like a higher tier with more, stuff available, or if it just means like they're going to be raising the price and offering more stuff, kind of like PlayStation Plus does. But I don't necessarily see these things going hand in hand. It's just worth noting that they're both rumors right now. But yeah, there's also been rumors of a possible like new version of the Switch that's a higher end. So maybe they'll start segmenting it with like a Switch 2 that's kind of the, higher resolution screen, like better quality Joy-Con, things like that. That's still at the $300 price point because things go, become cheaper to produce over time. And then the low end one that's the handheld only, that's like half that. And so they have the two models out at the same time, and they retire the original Switches. Maybe. I don't know. But, of course, Nintendo representatives, or specifically in this case the president, has gone on record saying that a price cut and successor to the Switch are not currently being considered. But also remember that Reggie said 2 days before the Nintendo DS announcement that they have no new handhelds that are being developed at this moment. So, take Nintendo's words with a grain of salt at all times.
Yeah.
And while this might be weird, since the whole thing is supposed to be a hybrid console, they also put out a 3DS that didn't have 3D. So it wouldn't be the weirdest thing Nintendo's done.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But
yeah.
I think a handheld-only version of the Switch could do really well. And it would be stupid of them to not do it just because they're like, we don't want to segment our audience. It'll be cheaper, and it plays the same games. Like, there's like 15 different SKUs of the 3DS. Just do it. People will buy it.
Right. I mean, I was saying earlier, I would consider a portable only version if it was at the right price point. Yeah. Because there are certain games on Switch. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to play that. I'd like to play some Breath of the Wild, some Smash, and things like that. It would just depend on a couple of things. One, it would depend on battery life. Two, hopefully, this portable version still has like all the online functionality and all that kind of stuff. The thing with the like a unibody kind of design with I can get past that, not having the detachable Joy-Cons, because I don't know. it'd be kind of cool to have a Switch, especially one that's just kind of like specifically for like the kind of portable version. It'd be a cool idea. So we'll just keep an eye out, keep an ear to the ground, see what kind of moves Nintendo makes moving forward.
And to be clear, the Switch does not play as well in handheld mode. Like, just hands down, it's like there's more frame rate issues, it's lower resolution, and things like that. But there are tons of people that have a Switch and the dock. They bought it new and everything, and never put it in the dock. So this kind of thing would have a market.
Yeah.
Even not not necessarily counting the price point, which yes, that would help too with Faces of Glow, but also just the idea of just having something that's only on the go and maybe has a larger battery to compensate for that, because the 2.5-hour battery on the regular Switch is not suitable for handheld only.
Yeah, battery life would be great.
Yeah, something closer to like 4 to 5 hours with the handheld shape, totally fine. So if they
other nice thing is
to the end of the 3DS life, it would be nice to have a new handheld that still coincides with everything else they're doing, so they can develop for one device but still kind of have the home console and the handheld versions of those things.
And the nice thing about Nintendo is they essentially have the handheld market cornered, more or less, so they can afford to, experiment with these kind of things with the segmenting of the Switch. So, we'll have to see. It's a really interesting idea to me. It's got my attention. So,
agreed.
Some more console news. PS5 and next Xbox price and specs leaked on Reset Era and Reddit.
Yes.
Did you guys read the specs and stuff? It says here that pricing is going to be around $399 for PS5. The next Xbox is going to have $499, and the streaming console for the next Xbox will be priced at $249. Speculation, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're making new consoles, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of these rumored leaks or whatever, because they're not going to be right.
Yeah.
Like, it's too early for any of them to be right. There was another news story, I don't think I have it in here, that supposedly Sony is moving all its first-party studios to focus on next-gen development now. They're just now doing that. Even if that's true, they're just now doing that. So it's going to be 2 or 3 years before we even see the fruits of those first-party studios. And those are the first ones that usually put out next-gen games. So I guarantee we wouldn't get next-gen systems until at least 2021.
Yeah, this is interesting just because there's some insiders that confirmed it on Reset Era. So
fair. But even then, you wouldn't have pricing specifications yet, because those parts will change in price over time by the time these things release.
Yeah,
unless they just want it in time for announcement, which I get that, because they'd probably be announced in the next year for release in 2021.
So yeah, there's some stuff here that's above my head, like ray tracing, and it says here, hardware is partially true, storage is true, ray tracing is true. Lockhart is not a streaming box. Xbox SoC, codename Anubis. Check AMD's plan. So yeah, there's some stuff here regarding the hardware that I'm not knowledgeable in.
Yeah.
Same.
That's
we'll
been
have
confirmed.
To see. Like, I don't know. I feel like at this point, for both Sony and Microsoft, instead of being like, oh, well, we can run our games at the highest resolution, I think they need to focus more on stable frame rates, more specifically it's 60 frames a second for all games, because it's...
Speaking of frame rate...
And backwards compatibility. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, backwards compatibility too.
I just wanted to, because that was a good transition.
I was glad to get that.
Speaking of frame... Sorry I cut you off, Lo. Did you have anything
No,
else to really say other than, fucking developers work on your goddamn frame rate?
Yeah, that's pretty much my whole point, yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 chugs sometimes on a regular PS4, just for the record.
Yeah. I can't do anything below 60 nowadays because I've been spoiled on Destiny, because it's very good frame rate. Speaking of frame rate, high and low frame rates has impact on weapons in Fortnite and PUBG and maybe some other Unreal Engine games.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised.
So it turns out the PUBG is not the only battle royale that has this problem. With the difference in rate of fire due to dips of higher frame rates. After a long thread discussion on Reddit, a streamer Dr. Lupo decided to run some tests to confirm Fortnite frame rates can reduce the rate of fire in games. Says here, surprisingly, Epic is aware of the issue and is working on a fix. So if you have a higher frame rate, you shoot at a higher rate of fire and you have an advantage.
I've heard of physics being tied to frame rates. I've never heard of a fire rate being tied to a frame rate. That is insane. That's insane to me. I've never heard of such a thing. It's crazy.
So
Why would they tie that to like frames per second? Because the actual engine would have to tie like fire rate with your frame rate at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's weird.
Comparing 300 FPS, 60 FPS, and 30 FPS, they found a 5.2% difference in Fortnite's rate of fire from 30 to 60, while having no difference from 60 to 300.
Good scrubs. 5.2% difference is killing you. Just get.
You need to get 5.2% better at the game.
Yeah.
Actually, no, get 10.4% better at the game to compensate.
Jeez, that's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
boy.
just interesting because like they book it as a competitive game, right? So
That's the thing. That's the crazy thing too. It's like, oh, this game's competitive, but like there's this clear advantage that people would have if they have like a better machine. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, like, I don't know, like as widely used as the Unreal Engine is, it has its issues, and this is kind of a bigger issue, you know, especially if people are going to be developing like more competitive type of games. I don't know. I mean, so far it's like Fortnite and PUBG, and who knows what other games are affected by this that use the same engine.
Yeah, that's a 5.2% bigger difference.
Speaking of competitive games, Ben, your turn to talk. Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Echo Fox thing?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going with?
Tokido.
Yeah, so Tokido, aka the best Street Fighter player, Street Fighter 5 player, has decided to not renew his contract with Echovox. To me, I see this as a sign. Like, it's kind of a big deal because of of how consistently this man wins. If you've never heard of this guy before, since Street Fighter 5 launched in 2016, this man has placed either first or second in about 90% of the tournaments he participates in.
Wow.
This man in a playing field where the talent pool is super deep, that's impressive. So in a lot of there was, and of course last year Echo Fox let go a lot of players. We went, and of course recently let go of Justin Wong, or he walked away. It's hard to say, but it looks like Takeda's walking away. To me, I think this is saying that esports and fighting games is not going to be as big as people want it to be, at least not yet. And that people need to stop, like I was saying about esports a couple weeks ago, that people need to stop trying to make esports and fighting games happen. It'll happen, but like too many people are trying to get that money quick, and they're not seeing their money back in return. So it's causing the teams to cut players, and these where's my money? I don't have my money, so they got to cut costs or downsize. So, but the thing is, fighting games will persist because Evo is 100. Like Evo, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, is 100% grassroots. It's like that. That's how fighting games is. Fighting games were here before esports, and fighting games will be here after esports. So, it kind of sucks for players who who maybe hopefully get signed to a team and get to flown out to play in tournaments, to get paid to play. But I think to me this is like a signal for like esports is going to go away, and that's perfectly fine. But we're going to be okay.
It really bothers me that he's verified, but has no profile picture and no banner on Twitter.
He doesn't need to tweet. He just plays Street Fighter. And he's oddly charismatic. He's just like, he's busy playing the game so much. That's
So
why he's
almost 80,000 followers and no identifying information.
Meanwhile, I'm
you know
trying
who he
hard.
is. He's Tokido. Like anybody who plays fighting games who follows him knows who he is. Like
He must have got verified
I don't know.
early.
To me, that's Mexican food. I don't know him.
Taquitos.
well, that's you. You're the random who walks into the fighting game arena and like, well, I don't know this guy. Then you see that. Then you eat the dinner.
Oh, hey, we're playing Mortal
watch him.
Kombat.
Then you eat the dinner, watch him play, and you're like, oh, okay.
I still wouldn't know if he's any good.
Well, Ben, I have a question for you. So let's say esports doesn't go away. How do you think that fighting games can be more relevant or have more of a kind of like carve out more of a foothold in kind of like the esports industry? Like what kind of things would it take? Does it take like a certain kind of game to come along?
No,
Does it take like publicity? Is it like a marketing kind of thing? Like what are your thoughts on it? Let
the games speak for themselves. Because so many times esports, at least what I've seen with League of Legends, Overwatch, they tried to homogenize it. And with fighting games, you can't do that. They're so different. And unlike a sports-based esports game, you don't have to generate anything. The games speak for themselves. The level of quality the level of hype speaks for itself. You let the game tell the story. You don't try to control that. To me, if anybody esports is listening to this, I doubt you are, but you have to let fighting games be fighting games. That's what people like. You can't try to control them. Like last year, here's a perfect example. Last year, when Dragon Ball FighterZ came out, there was Sonic Fox, the esports player of the year. He started playing Dragon Ball, and he quickly became one of the best. And he challenged one of Japan's premier players, and they naturally fought at a tournament. They had an exhibition match, and then in that tournament, they fought in grand. I think it was in top 8 for sure, but I don't know if it was grand finals, but it was definitely top 8. But then a week later, esports is like, we're gonna put them together again. And you know what? And Thomas, in the sense of wrestling, the more you do it unnaturally, the less special it becomes.
I see.
And so, and if anything, like just watch. Like I just have to point to Evo. Look at Evo. No esports, all grassroots. That one ESPN year was a different thing, but I wouldn't even call that esports or anything. Like the stories that come from Evo themselves write themselves. You don't need to control anything. They have to be. Esports organizations have to be more hands-off when it comes to fighting games.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that, so like you said, Evo is a grassroots sort of thing. So what you're saying is like fighting games need to stay that way in order to like naturally sort of like flourish in the industry. Because it seems to me, well, from what you're saying, is that it's like you're saying, it's like, oh, now you take two people, like now fight for our entertainment kind of thing, and that doesn't necessarily seem to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. It just kind of seems to me like
because what esports likes to do is like esports likes to make teams. Esports likes to make selected events. Esports likes to
sanction things and like organizing all the charts.
Yeah, esports likes to. I'm going to say this right now. Gatekeep. Versus fighting. Here's the beauty of fighting games. Any fighting game tournament, no matter how good you are, no matter how this. Whether it's an arcade or like an official tournament, like final round coming up in March. If you pay your entrance fee and you pay the fee, you get to play, and you're in the tournament. There's no qualifications. That's it. You put up your core. As James Chen, who's a very famous fighting game commentator. You put up your quarter, you get to play. And I feel my fear is that if esports gets more and more in, and there's already been some of these too. I'm not against like events where it's like only the top players, because sometimes you want to see them play, but you have to let tournaments still be a thing. You have to let the players. You can't segregate. You shouldn't segregate. Let the games speak for themselves, and you're gonna get an audience. You're gonna get people to watch. I mean, fighting. And I've said this before when I first came on the show, that fighting games are way more accessible to people in terms of watching. Not all fighting games, granted, like look at Dragon Ball or look at Marvel versus Capcom, but most standard 2D fighting games are much easier to understand and grasp than, say, a League of Legends match or an Overwatch match because of how chaotic
That's
it
true.
can be.
That's very true.
Like even Smash can be, a super thing people can watch casually. So, like, but the problem is they like to meddle too much. and what I've seen. Like there's already been instances of like terrible tournaments gone awry because esports was mixed into it. Like there's a big tournament in Canada happened last year, and they were basically fighting games were squatted off into the room, and it was basically part of a bigger convention that had esports, like other events and like celebrities. It was really stupid, and it caused the turn, and so it got the time. It ran over so much time. It got so bad that they couldn't even show Street Fighter V Top 8.
Oh.
Yeah, and like that's like usually that ends the show. Like they played the tournament. It was all streamed. So if like me who was like watched it all weekend and like, wait, where's Top 8? Oh, they're not showing Top 8. It's like, what? Wow. So it's like it's like bad coordination again. They like esports just like to meddle too much, and they can't. Somebody in esports needs to go let it breathe and build it like that movie, baseball movie. Build it and they will come. If you
build it, they will come. Field of Dreams?
Yeah, Field of Dreams, yeah. It's a great movie. Kevin Costner. But yeah, just if you build it, it will come. But for now, again, fighting games started with grassroots. The first Evo was grassroots. Evo now is still grassroots. So, it's going to be fine. Like, fighting, that's the beauty of fighting games that they will still persist offwards. By the way, first big tournament, final round. Watch it. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so laughing at Assgroot.
Justin drank too much.
Hey, Ben said
it. Keeping it within the fighting game world, we have a new character confirmed for Mortal Kombat 11, and his name is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. No, wait.
Ultimate Instinct Shaggy, to be exact. Gotta get the form right, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm a scrub. No,
what
Kano.
What if headcanon Shaggy went down a dark path and became Kano?
Oh god. Are we getting into the lore of Shaggy in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. It's canon. It's canon.
Well, I don't even know how these Shaggy memes came about.
It's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad to where there's in the versus battle community, somebody out there created a versus battle entry for Shaggy, and it's just some of the most ridiculous shit. It is funny though. It is absolutely fun to read. Like if you need a good laugh, I'll try to find a link to it.
Yeah, I find it funny. I just think I have no idea where it came from.
It's a hype meme. It's like Chuck Norris or like something like that. It's all it is.
No one knows where memes came from. Someone that was stoned made one image and then people blew it up and turned it into the whole thing.
Somebody it started really happening right around
Ultra Instinct Shaggy,
the Dragon Ball Super thing happened where like somebody just did an image of like Shaggy glowing blue and it's just like Leave to me Goku, and then like from there it's just been slowly growing, and the actor who played Shaggy even got tweeted that he's like, yes, I like these. Like, that's just still a approval right there when the actor. But I love the Shaggy memes. They're great.
Great. Anyways, the real meat of the story is Kano.
I guess, sure, whatever. Fine.
Kano meat.
He's been in like most games of any.
He's a legacy character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the legacy character like Baraka who doesn't need to be there.
No, Kano is pretty on anything.
Shots fired.
Baraka is really cool.
Baraka has claws. Big deal. Fuck.
Kano just does his little cannonball spin and uses the knife.
Blanca and
doesn't he have a laser eye too?
He has a laser eye, but I don't think he uses it to shoot lasers. I think it's a cybernetic eye.
Thanks to Lo sharing a link with me, I now learned that Shaggy had a last name.
Huh.
It's Rogers. What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Shaggy's just a nickname.
That's weird.
Cool.
Like the Marino.
It's Kano Rogers.
Yeah, screw Kano.
But yeah, Kano all but confirms that Jax is going to be in it too. Because he's like the rival to Sonya and Jax, and they're always,
That doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna laugh when Jax isn't in the roster.
Granted, he wasn't in MKX, right?
He was.
Like neither of them were.
Yes, he was. So was Kano.
No, I mean Jax or Sonya.
What do you mean playable? Yeah, they were.
They were?
Yeah,
Because their kids were in it. I didn't think they
their
were.
kids were in it, but they were also playable. Jax had
Oh.
multiple costumes. He even had a costume that made him look like Carl Weathers from The Predator.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
But his kid was basically the same character. Like that's
No,
weird.
she's not. She's not. Look,
she still
listen,
has arms and
It's not the same though. She
she
does
still
not.
has arms.
She has gauntlets. It's not the same. And her play style is completely different, and she's trash. Anyways, but no, Jax and Sonya were both in the game last game. Trust me. I watched too many streams to not know the roster of MKX by now.
All right. I was gonna play that again, and I just realized that it's not installed on my PS4 anymore, and I don't want to go through the hassle of putting the game in and like updating all the data and then probably deleting it after a week. So I just didn't bother. But that's why I got Injustice 2 instead. But yeah, Kano, cool, whatever. I thought it was gonna be Cabal that was announced, but
He's still coming. He was supposed to be announced at the Combat Cast that was supposed to happen a couple days ago, but because of the polar vortex, they moved it to the 5th of February. So
because this was like an event at Brazil that was
correct.
a few days ago, and I thought this was the event.
No, the combat. No, the event. That was the Combat Cast. They did them during MKX's lifetime, and again, it was supposed to be on the 31st, but again, the polar vortex. They didn't want to risk their employees' lives. Good to them. You're an asshole who said just do it anyways. But yeah, that's what we're gonna get. Look, you're gonna get your Cabal on the 5th, and you're gonna get your fucking dash cancels, and it's gonna be fine. Okay?
Hate Cabal.
Nobody likes Cabal. Only Cabal mains like Cabal, and they even hate themselves internally.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's a fact.
Resident Evil TV series may be coming to Netflix.
Oh.
As long as it doesn't
No,
star...
it is coming to Netflix. Netflix tweeted out a picture of the mansion with the Resident Evil logo over it.
I just hope it's good, and it's not like the movie.
I hope it's
And
good
it's
too.
going to be a live-action Resident Evil series, so temper your expectations, sir.
It could be good. I mean, look, if they play it like how it should be, which is a B horror movie, it should be good. And they replicate the feeling of the Spencer Mansion in live action. I think it could be good. You just got to treat it with the camp that's there. You can't take it like the movie made the mistake of making it too super serious and try to take itself seriously.
Oh man, but I hear those movies went straight campy after a while, and I kind of want to watch them all.
They did.
Yeah.
Watch along?
But they're not good movies also.
We're doing our game watch-along stuff, so we can have that in.
No, don't make it.
The first one's real bad, though.
Fucking damn it.
Like, I don't like the first one at all. We'd have to do the second one.
They're all bad. There's no such thing as a good Resident Evil movie.
No, there's a few that are okay. Like, they're campy trash, but they're okay. Like,
okay,
action-wise and everything.
They're fun to dunk on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I'd
one
rather
that has
watch
Chris
something good than
Redfield in
dunk
it.
on something.
Yeah, I think it's Extinction that has Chris Redfield in it. And it's actually pretty okay.
That's not Chris. None of those characters are this case. The closest one is Wesker, and that's a stretch.
Oh boy.
Anyway, the rumors of this is coming from Constantine Film, which did the movies that we're talking about. So we'll see.
Wait, they made the original Resident Evil movies?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't. All right.
Yeah.
Well
But
then.
this is coming to Netflix. We just don't know if it's actually coming from them or if it's someone else.
Right.
But
It might be good. It also might be bad. One thing I've noticed is like the net.
Wow.
Like if it's a series on Netflix, like it tends to have a chance to be better. Because I've watched a couple like Netflix original movies. And I'm like, this is not good.
They should make it. They should really just make it not a movie, but a TV series.
That would be cool. Because
It is a TV series.
Oh, okay, yeah.
okay, so I feel like there's a slightly better chance that this will be good as a result of that. Because I don't know, like the original movies, like I feel like so many of the movies I've watched on Netflix, I'm like the original ones. I'm like, well, if this was a series, this might have been a lot better. Because I feel like they're trying to do too much in the time frame, and usually if something's like serialized, then it has a better chance to, even if it starts off bad, it has a chance to get better. But this is also Netflix, so it'll be like, boom, here's a whole series. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, Netflix is a weird beast because most of their movies are DVD dump movies, but their shows are surprise hits.
Right.
So it's like some of the shows are still bad. But like for the most part, it's like it has such a varying quality between their movies and their TV shows. You never really know what to expect.
Right. You never know until the credits are rolling.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Keeping on with the video game movie TV thing, we have Nintendo revealing the release date for Super Mario Bros. Animated movie. It will be coming to theaters in 2022.
Yep. This was announced like 2 years ago or something.
Was it?
No, I guess no. It was revealed in early 2018. It feels like it's been forever.
Really?
Mm.
Yes.
Jeez.
Wowzers.
Yeah. But still, that's a 3-year turnaround for an animated movie. That's insane. They really want to like focus on quality control, I guess.
They don't want another Super Mario Bros. The movie.
Which I don't understand why. John Leguizamo made that movie. And Bob Hoskins, rest in peace.
Anyways, yeah, there you go. Release date.
That's about it. Also, it's not part of this, but they announced that the Mario Bros. Like amusement park or whatever, like the Universal Studios type place, is going to be opening in 2020 or in time for the 2020 Olympics in Japan or whatever. Like wherever that's going.
Interesting.
So that'll be cool.
Neat.
It's not the Florida one, or I think it's going to Florida. But hey, we'll at least get to see what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And my last news story for the day, keeping with the Mario theme, we have Dr. Mario World announced for mobile.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
That's literally the only information. It's coming early summer 2019, so probably before the Mario Kart game at this point, which is weird. But also, how long does Dr. Mario game take to develop? It's been the same for 20 years. 30 years.
Yeah, a bad version of Tetris.
It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's just kind of generic.
The one on 3DS is bad.
I didn't play that one.
I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Wasn't there like an actual sequel that tried to do different things?
There's there's Luigi, Dr. Luigi. That's
no, I know. Dr. Mario 2. I feel like that was a thing. Yeah, Dr. Mario 2 on NES. Right?
You're talking to the wrong person, man.
Yeah.
I feel like there was.
Do you want to keep belaboring
There was a
this?
Tetris 2. I know that, because I really like Tetris 2. It had kind of a similar puzzle mode to what Dr. Mario was, where it's like you had to plug into different points and like complete the series or whatever. But yeah, I guess there wasn't. Huh. I don't know. There's been so many releases of Dr. Mario, like it feels like there should have been a sequel, but it's been literally the same thing every release.
I thought there was only one game and they just kept re-releasing it. Anyways, Justin, where can people find you?
They can find me wherever Dr. Mario games are. No. I am on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, I don't know where else. Instagram, I guess. If you look up Zero Score, Twitch is Zero Score Gaming, but look up Zero Score, I'll probably show up.
Hello.
You can find me hunting down Shaggy because that bitch owes me some money. But not really. You can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube at Nero the Hero with letters. And you can find me here on Charge Shot.
Just don't talk to him about dead dogs.
Oh, he's going down. I don't care.
Ben.
I'm gonna get your Scoopy Snacks.
Twitter.com/MarvelousIggy for all my shit posting memes. And if you want to catch me live on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Iggy2814, where I currently am playing Onimusha. I'll get back to Undertales whenever I feel like it, but for right now, I'm just feeling that Onimusha heat, and I need to satisfy my huge erection. Anyways,
Oh God.
So yeah. Also,
that went places.
The first three. Also have a YouTube. I do a YouTube Let's Play. The first 3 parts of my Shovel Knight Let's Play have been released, as well as Part 4. Parts 5, 6, and 7 all had corrupted audio, so I have to re-record the voiceover for that again, which is why there was no episodes.
Rip.
After Part 4, so those will be resuming sometime. It's just been busy for me to just sit down and record them when I'm not super tired from work. So But they're coming, and then of course the finale, and then that. But that's it. Yeah, YouTube, Twitter.com/MarvelSiggy, Twitch.tv/Iggy2814, and then again, just check on my Twitter for whenever I upload a new part for Shovel Knight.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter. CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find us here at charshot.com for all your audio, video, and written content needs. We're also on YouTube. Just search for us, Charshot, or click the link on the site. It'll take you to our YouTube page where we will be doing our live streams of the show and some other stuff.
We got some Let's Plays coming.
We have, some Let's Plays coming. You can always check us out here Friday nights at 9 p.m. unless stated otherwise on our social media. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Until next time,
Bye.
Assgroots.